Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celeb news. Now today we have... Hey yo, we got Shannon Sharp talking about folks getting jealous, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about that. All right. We got Katt Williams on tour with Kevin Hart's ex, man. We gonna speak on that a little bit, man. Kodak Black, man, what's going down with him, man? It ain't looking so good. Boosie talking about he did more in the streets than Nino Brown. And we also have 50 Cent no longer having sex with women. Again, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I said that. All right. I said that. Thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source Show. If this is your first time to the channel, man, be sure to hit that like button if you feel any part of the content. We definitely appreciate that. Yo, that notification bell is waiting for your tap, man. So go on and give it a tap. And the subscribe button is waiting for your subscription, man. So go on and set that to your check this out. I'm going to set you over the doozy. All right. 50 Cent has stated that he is no longer having sex with women. You like, say what now? The man said he will not be getting the buns thing in 2024. That's right. According to him, sex is for you peasants. Those are y'all that have no real pleasures to indulge in outside the base primal pleasure of a nut. 50 posted the following. He said, wait, let me see if I can pull it up. He said, all right, hold on now. All right. He said, my new idea is so big, I don't have time to be distracted. I'm practicing abstinence. I've been meditating and focusing on my goals. I hope this new year helps you excel to the next level. Close quote. Listen. I heard that before wars, a lot of dudes were told, like a lot of people were told, like don't have sex. You know what I'm saying? And I heard that before boxing matches, a lot of boxers are told not to have sex. You know what I mean? So I think there's something to that. They're saying that it brings a clarity of mind, but Glorilla said the opposite. But you know, you like, yo, wait, but isn't he dating Cuban Link? How's that going? I don't know. As far as I thought they went their own separate ways. But I did hear a young lady by the name of Melly Monaco make a statement along the lines of, she said, for women, sex is not a necessity like that. You know what I mean? She said, we just do it to make y'all men happy. But a lot of times, we just want to watch TV. But y'all always touching stuff. Look, ladies, let me know if Melly lied to us. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I can see what she might be saying. Some folks are just trying to exist without all the other stuff. You follow what I'm saying? Look. Ladies, is she speaking the truth, or are y'all salivating over the, you know what I'm saying, whatchamacallit mentally on the daily, but keeping it to yourselves? Maybe y'all want to do it like crazy, but not with bruh sitting right next to you. You know what I mean? Or it could be the old been there, done that, got a t-shirt thing. You follow what I'm saying? Like some people are just like, yeah, man, I done did that already. It doesn't really stoke my fire like it used to. You follow what I'm saying? Listen. Those of y'all that know Boosie, and those of y'all that know Nino Brown, know this. If you thought Nino Brown was a problem, Boosie is over here telling Nino, hey, yo, hold my beer. He said, hold my beer, man. Boosie stated the following. Hey, yo, take a listen.
Look like Nino Brown. Nino Brown is a fantasy. Boosie is reality. Nino Brown can't with Boosie. I did way more in the streets than Nino Brown. Real talk. You really like that.
Hey yo. That man said he did way more in the streets than Nino Brown. Hey, look, I'm not so sure that's a flex. Like, technically, right? Technically, Nino Brown was pivotal and the central cog in the destruction of his community. Now, if I was the key figure in the destruction of a community, I would say it in shame, right? Like, I would say that in shame. And I would aim to right the wrongs that I've done. Not saying he isn't aiming to right the wrong now, but I would make it crystal clear that the moments I did move in the streets more than Nino Brown did, like in the way that Nino, if I did more in the streets than Nino Brown, then those were my worst moments. I destroyed all kinds of good and benefits in the community through my actions. I single-handedly brought neighborhood values down with crime, evil, and violence. I'm the reason more people suffered in my neighborhood than would have had I not contributed to its destruction. You're like, you can't even speak. Whatever. Look. I done more in the streets than Nino Brown. Look, what did Nino Brown do? He started an empire that destroyed families, homes, and left countless individuals fatherless. I beat Nino Brown and all of that. Hey, look. If you beat Nino Brown and all of that, you were good for society, weren't you? Look, you made the world better with your behaviors, didn't you? Look, our children need more people like that to make their world better, don't they? Hey, look, I didn't see the full clip. Hopefully, he acknowledged that those days were his worst days. Because ain't no way on the planet Earth did you do more in the streets than Nino Brown, and you was good for the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to have been, what destroys but devils? You follow what I'm saying? God don't be, well, you like, what about Sodom and Gomorrah? Yeah, he was destroying evil. Like, I understand the destruction of evil, but the destruction of something that could have potentially be good, but poison has turned it bad? Drugs have turned it bad? I don't know. Not a flex. Where we at over here? What's my time looking like? Yeah, y'all probably. Let me give you this one. Kodak Black was serving time, and he had the last 2.5 years of his sentence commuted by Donald Trump, and he had the good pleasure of coming home. He pled guilty to lying on a gun application and had got 46 months. Last month, he got arrested again. The police say he had a mouthful of cocaine. Okay. Kodak Black said if that were true, he said I wouldn't even be on land, which is a weird way to put it, but that's what he said. You know what I mean? Look, they said catching him like that with the oxy on him and a mouthful of cocaine and an expired license was a violation of his federal probation. Now, because he's back in that, you know what I'm saying, penal system, it's being stated that he may have to serve the rest of his sentence out. Since he's now, my thought process is this: since he's battling addiction, hopefully they help him with the whole battling addiction thing instead of thinking that putting him in a cage will solve all the problems. They don't have why don't they make, who's gonna be the Medici family and do the alternative to prison, which is the place where you can get, like, you know what I'm saying, help for, you know what I mean? Like, that does have the element of you can't leave, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not like prison. I don't know who can make that where it works. Because, I mean, think about all the things we have in society that work. Now, Kodak Black's lawyer has come out stating that the police are telling tall tales concerning Coco and the cocaine. Okay? Kodak Black's lawyer posted the following. He said, let me see if I can pull it up. He said, as stated when this new case first was filed, this was not cocaine and the officer was lying about his observations. We finally got the lab report. It's oxycodone that Kodak had a prescription for and not an illegal substance. Knowing that the officer substantially misrepresented his observations, the Broward State Attorney's Office still filed the charge. Unbelievable, and it will not be tolerated. This level of abuse of power by the arresting officer is disgusting. We will be seeking a new bond hearing and addressing these unethical practices by the police department. Look, he mad, all right? He mad. Listen. When the police practice unethical behavior, right, like purposely lying, that should be met with a weighty penalty for the deception, man. You know what I mean? Like, to whom much is given, much is required. I mean, you can't have authority but then be lying. Like, you gotta be penalized heavily. Like, it's an abuse of power and authority. You have to lie to secure the conviction, to help fill the for-profit, privately possessed prison. Go ahead, wipe your screen. These prisons are privately owned, aren't they? Well, I mean, not Big Sandy. Like, that's a federal penitentiary, I think. But when the authorities have to lie, look, you ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie, y'all. Look, there's clearly a problem with the system inherently. You know what I mean? I guess I think I understand. See, it all started with slavery. You're like, oh, here we go again. Hey, no, don't stop me now. The country started with slavery. Well, it didn't start with slavery. It started with brutality in America. America, right? When Christopher Columbus discovered this glorious country, the whole thing from Christopher Columbus on down. You're like, oh my God, he said it again. I said it again. When Christopher Columbus discovered the great land of America, right? It all started with slavery, right? They was like, we're going to build this country, right? So they had Thanksgiving. They shared with the people that were here, right? And they started the whole thing with slavery, built the country on slavery. And I guess as a result, it's got to run on slavery. And really, slavery was abolished in the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment says this. It goes, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime of which the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any place subject to this jurisdiction. In other words, slavery will be gone except as a punishment for crime. Okay? So, prison system, slavery, there you have it. It says slavery is gone unless you get arrested. Those of y'all that want to live the life trying to commit crime and you want to be gangbangers and you want to follow your favorite rappers in the whole 9 yards, you're essentially flirting with slavery. Enjoy. Okay? Enjoy. Where we at over here? My bad. I don't even know how I got there. Yeah. Help Kodak Black is where I was coming from. Anyway, let me go to my shout outs real quick. Let me stop scaring you. All right. But yeah. That's what it is, man. If you want to involve yourself with there should be a system that helps people that have mental situations or drug addiction. Okay. But in the absence of that, like, what can we do? Like, you know, if you want to commit crime and that's the route that you want to take, then really you're flirting with slavery. Anyway, Albert Williams said, yo, Celeb, I need help, man. I'm an alcoholic. Please give me some advice. Yo, Albert Williams, man, it's huge for you to come on a public platform and say that. You know what I mean? Like, that's huge. It says a lot too, man, because I think it says a lot. You know what I mean? So, and I'm honored that you even asked that. Listen, definitely we can't emphasize enough professional guidance. Whatever we say is not a substitute for professional guidance. All right. But let me just throw this out here. Okay. Definitely you got to get professional help with that because they have the best strategies, the support strategies that you'll need in order to kick that situation. You know what I mean? But also, you definitely would have to reach out to your friends and families. Because that you need a support system even to keep you accountable. But if you coming on YouTube asking that thing, then maybe friends and family, there's a distance between them. Attending support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous, it actually is very super beneficial. You follow what I'm saying? And here's the reason why those support groups are beneficial. All right, they offer a sense of community and understanding. While you're facing alcoholism, you're facing these challenges, you need people that understand where you're coming from. And I don't drink, so I can't fully grasp it the way that someone else can grasp it that does that. You know what I mean? That has that issue. All right. Other people in those support groups, they could share their experiences, they could share their strategies, their progress. It creates like a very supportive environment. You need that, Albert. You follow what I'm saying? You get a sense of belonging. There's less of a feeling of isolation. It's that loneliness that we all feel that's driving us insane. You follow what I'm saying? And you get less of that. All right? It makes it easier for someone struggling with alcoholism to find encouragement. You know what I mean? Also, you definitely got to come up with some healthy coping mechanisms, okay, for managing stress, because chances are that alcoholism is connected to stress, and it, of course, is connected to difficult emotions. So you need healthy coping mechanisms. Exercise. These are age-old tactics, but you got to do them, though. You know what I mean? Exercise could be mindfulness techniques, journaling, writing down. Believe it or not, doing Celeb Source, I write all these stories. For me, it's a form of journaling. It's actually, it relieves a lot of the stress that I do have. Deep breathing exercises, prayer. You follow what I'm saying? Engaging in hobbies, definitely the social support. We already done said that. Okay. You got to explore activities that bring you true joy and relaxation, and anything that helps build like a positive outlet for stress. You follow what I'm saying? Exercise, prayer, spending time in nature. You probably got to get away from the damn buildings. Get some time in nature. Pursue some hobbies or creative outlets. Listen to music, reading. Probably not the you know what I'm saying, hip hop music that we be listening to, because that might actually, it may increase your stress level. Maybe not. Like, I listen to certain hip hop all the time that makes me feel like, you know what I mean? Reading, connecting with, you know what I'm saying, family and friends in the whole 9 yards. Of course, listening to Celebs Source, that always helps too. So yeah, definitely consider that, man. You know what I mean? Because really, the emotions and the feelings that you're trying to find a substitute for, you know, those kind of activities that promote relaxation and joy and things of that nature, you're trying to substitute alcohol for other things that can provide that. So you need healthy outlets. My fault for making that so long, but Albert was worth it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's my time looking like. All right, since that was relatively long, I'm gonna give you Tanisha Baker said, I unsubscribed because of that annoying banging on the dashboard. Come across this video and see the banging on the dashboard has lessened. Well, yeah. We look, we stopped banging on that joint. You know what I'm saying? We don't bang on it as much as we used to. Tanisha Baker trying to tell us what to do. How dare you? And lastly, for the people in the back, say, first off, I want to say that the YouTube had unsubscribed me. So people pay attention. And number two, listen to Lil Nas X say anything about the machine or the industry is like listen to Satan tell us what he has done to us for years with a straight face. Get the cuff up out of here with that boyish. Celeb, you and the Source keep bringing the content as have been for years. God bless you. Let me make sure YouTube didn't do me dirty on the Source channel as well. We'll see you tomorrow, Celeb. Hey, yo, man, shout out to you. Double check. Make sure y'all still subbed, because you know what it is. They be unsubbing us, man. And now's your opportunity to hit the like button, man. We do appreciate it. All right, look. And finally, big up to Albert and anybody that's trying to quit alcohol, man. Yo, big up to you, man. Alcohol really does a number on people, man. A lot of people are in prison. Ask anybody that you know that was in jail. Ask them when they were in jail, whatever they did that or in prison. When they were in jail or they were in prison, was alcohol involved in any of their actions prior to when they got arrested? Some will say no, but most will say yes. Katt Williams is out here not playing nice in the slightest. And look, I don't even know if it's Katt Williams per se. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Tori Hart, that is Kevin Hart's ex-wife, will be going on tour with Katt Williams. Listen, I feel like I see the play, right? But I don't want to rob Tori Hart of her own individuality. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Like, yes, she's going on tour with Katt Williams, but perhaps, right? She's just a hilarious person in her own right. Now, the fact that we know that she's Kevin Hart's ex-wife doesn't help the situation. Everybody's going to be looking for her to have jokes on Kevin. Any jokes that she has involving men and relationships, the first person we're going to think of is Kevin Hart. Now, it's entirely possible, right? It's entirely possible that she can have jokes that don't have anything to do with Kevin Hart, okay? It's also entirely possible that, given the kind of world we live in and the age of social media where we know things can go viral at warp speed, it is entirely within the realm of possibility that Katt Williams and Kevin Hart could have possibly planned this. Now, I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist because those people are always very weird to me. You know what I mean? And I don't think I'm weird. I don't want to be. You know what I mean? I'm just open to the possibility that this thing could be. All right? This could most definitely, they could most definitely hate each other, right? Or they could be in cahoots and make a huge bag off of this whole viral beef. Think about it for a second. And I'm not saying this is 100% fact, so don't go running off the cliff with this. You know what I mean? But think about it, though. You ain't seen nothing else in your feed except Katt Williams. And given what we know about Katt Williams, he does strike me as the kind of cat to tell Kevin, hey, look, but listen, I'm going to go all the way in. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go all the way in. I ain't playing, right? Listen, man, I don't see Kevin, and Kevin Hart, he seemed like the kind of person to laugh the whole thing off anyway and take it in stride. People have done crazier things to promote a project, right or wrong. Consider this, okay? Katt Williams is touring with Kevin Hart's ex-wife, right? Kevin has 2 children with Tory Hart, okay? Kevin would and should technically want what's best for his children. And Tory Hart getting a bag would help, you know what I'm saying, that become even more of a reality. Kevin has been recently promoting a project on Netflix. I think it's called Lift, right? So much so that he was even on Hooters segment of the Today Show today. And Katt Williams said very explicitly to Shannon Sharpe, he said, this video is about to go viral. Source, do we have the clip of Shannon Sharpe saying that?
I sure hope I have a Club Shay Shay after this year.
It's gonna be in a dimension it's never been.
Yeah, it's gonna be
the greatest thing floating in 2024. Mark the words. No way. In a whole different realm of business. Oprah coming next. Once I establish this as a place of truth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Watch. God's people ain't that few.
You see that? So, what's my time looking like? If my suspicions are correct, which I really don't think they are, please. I don't think that they are trying to run this. I don't think they're in cahoots, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were. So let me just, my suspicions of them being in cahoots is like, I feel like it's 20%. You know what I mean? Like it's 20% is very low. Think of how many people would benefit from this. I'm writing this right now at 10:32, right? Shannon Sharpe's interview has 37 million views. This is in 5 days, okay? Shannon gets a bag. Kevin gets a bag. Katt gets a bag. Tory gets a bag off the momentum, okay? Comedians we ain't spoke about get attention. They get looked up and potentially they get a bag, right? Rappers do this all the time because people gravitate towards beef. So why not, as a comedian, do what works for rappers? Chris Rock got slapped, which I believe really happened, and he immediately went on tour. The better you act and subsequently entertain, the more viral the moment. Only issue you gotta worry about is the idiots that think the beef is now their business and they take matters into their own hands. You know what I'm saying? Because the entertainers can't tell the people in their circles. They'll just let the cat out the bag. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's not the industry built on entertainment and acting. Now, lastly, right? I think Hollywood is relatively jealous. And Shannon Sharpe has I guess folks have been going in on Shannon Sharpe for the interview because he allowed Katt Williams to be completely uninterrupted and unfiltered. So Shannon Sharpe has discussed Hollywood being jealous, or the people involved in Hollywood, whatever, be jealous. Take a listen to what Shannon Sharpe had to say. Yeah, I can see folks being relatively jealous. Here's the thing, man. Whenever, if you're in a lane with anybody, right, and then you find out that they made more money than you off of something, you're jealous. A lot of times you're jealous. You know what I mean? And I mean, it just is what it is. It's great if you don't even think about it, or you don't consider it, or you're not looking at it, or not. Like, that's fantastic if you're like that. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, they be pocket watching. They be watching, and then, you know what? Like, you know what, man, I don't really care. Oh, by the way, Willie D also just released an interview with Katt Williams, and Katt Williams went in again. So after this, you might as well go on and tune into Willie D's joint. And it strikes me as the kind of interview, I could be wrong, but I don't think this interview was done after Shannon Sharpe's interview was released. It looks like an interview that was done before Shannon Sharpe's interview was released. That's what I get from it. You know what I mean? Because some of the information was covered, like some of the information was duplicated, but then there is some new information. Katt Williams done went in on another comedian. You know what I mean? Another comedian that we know of, and he explained the whole story. He also went into some details about a couple of other things that he did not cover on a Shannon Sharpe joint. You know what I'm saying? So take a look at Willie D's interview of Katt Williams right after this. I think he just released it like today, like maybe like 2 or 3 hours ago. So for you, by the time you get this, it might be like 5 or 6 hours ago. And who knows how many views that joint will have had by then. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let me take a look, man. Let me see. I'm going to type in Willie D Willie D. And see, Willie D Live. That's what it is. Willie D Live. Yeah, right now, yep. 5 hours ago, it says Willie D Live. When I first got it, it was like it was at 9,000 views in the first hour. Right now, it's got 645,000 views 5 hours ago. So you know it's about to go crazy again. You know what I'm saying? Willie D, prepare to get your pockets blown out of proportion all over again. You know what I'm saying? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source, Celeb News.